Hi, are you a buyer in today's market and you're thinking, I want to get into the market, but you know what? I'm going to sit on the sideline or not enter the market as a first-time home buyer because I think rates and prices are going to drop. And you say, I'm going to wait till next year. You're making a huge mistake in my opinion, and I can give you a bunch of reasons, but I'm going to make this simple and I'm just going to give you my top 5 reasons why you should buy today versus wait for those rates to drop. Hi, my name is Josh Jackson at Red Letters Lending, and we're going to go over the top 5 reasons why you should be a buyer in today's market. So number 5, higher rates equals fewer buyers. So with a big move up in interest rates, that's decreased the affordability, which is bad for most people, and now they're struggling with affordability. Here's a chart I'm using going all the way back to 2006 when we last had our issue with affordability. So you can clearly see that we have fewer buyers in a higher rate environment, which is good for you. In the last 2.5 years, in order to buy a home, you had to way overbid for the property. And not only overbid, sellers were requiring you as the buyer to release your loan. Release your inspection, your appraisal, and all your contingencies. That's like buying a property without a safety net. In a normal market, if one of those things goes sideways with either the value of the home, the inspection, or even the loan itself, for example, you have the ability to exit the transaction without losing your deposit. The last 2.5 years, the sellers were not allowing you to do that because there were so many sellers and it was such a seller-heavy market. So we have a better selection of homes today. Last 2.5 years, homes that come on the market within the hour had multiple bids on them and the house was taken off immediately. So there were a lot of houses out there that you had no idea hit the market, and a lot of times the houses with the coming soon tag never actually hit the MLS because they're called what we call pocket listings, and that transaction was done outside of your view. So you had no idea. The only thing you saw was a sold sign and no idea that even hit the market. So now we're going to have a better selection of homes as we start to pivot into a buyer's market, and why today is a stronger market for you, the buyer. Number 2, this is kind of the main part of the whole presentation. As a buyer that's left in the market, you're sitting on the sideline and you're stalling to enter the market because your belief is, I'm going to enter it when rates drop or prices drop. Again, that's a big mistake in my opinion. I think about this. Think about the first 3 bullet points of what we've said. In a seller's heavy market, if prices and rates drop, we're going to move right back into that seller's market, that nightmare for the buyer. Now, you as the buyer, if you're waiting and you're going to put yourself right back in that position of overbidding, releasing contingencies, and having no safety net to protect your deposit. And then you are facing a limited selection again. So that's a problem if you wait. You are going to bring in more buyers back into the market. And this is a huge deal because since we're in a buyer's market, we're allowed to negotiate concessions with sellers. So we did this a lot with my clients going all the way back to 2009, and it's happening again right now. There's a multitude of ways we can do this for you, and I'm going to highlight those underneath here in what's called a TCA. I have several options to the right of the screen recorded for you. I'm going to show you how to re-enter the market either through affordability or regaining your buying power back in the market. I'm going to break down what a temporary buy downs are, 3-2-1, 2-1, and also look at permanent buy downs of the interest rate when we're able to take those seller concessions. I've done this countless times and I know how to get them done on the purchase contract correctly and internally at the bank so we can avoid predatory and high cost lending laws. And the only way we can get that to work with seller concessions is with seller concessions because we're in a buyer's market. We dramatically reduce rate, we reduce payment, we reduce the income needed to qualify, and it's a fixed for life. We can look at the permanent buy downs compared to temporary buy downs. They each have their pros and cons, and we will look at both options for you. So I think education is good, and you are going to quickly realize now is the time because you're the buyer and you can control the market. And lastly, this slide here is showing you a screenshot of all the TCAs below me that I can show you how we can structure the appropriate financing for you. So go ahead and review those, but let's sit down with you and your family and figure out a game plan on how you can enter the market versus waiting for the market to shift. And when you do, you'll put yourself right back into that seller's market and all the problems that go with it. All right, thanks and take care.